Fülöp.
Fülöp.
Fülöp. Okay, excellent. So Szethyn Fülöp, welcome to Coffee and Conversations with Champions. Dude, it's so good to be chatting with you. Thank you for joining us, man.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. You know what I love? And like we put requests on the SAPF website or the Facebook groups and stuff and reached out to athletes who wanted to chat. And you came forward and said, hey, I'm happy to chat. And that means a lot to us because we're doing this for our lifters, for our athletes. And without guys jumping on and being part of it, there are no podcasts. So thank you for stepping up. Really appreciate it, man.
No, it's a great honor to be on the podcast. Thank you for having me again.
Means a lot. I see you rocking your SBD shirt. Very cool.
Yep. Have to always get the SBD out.
100%. Hey, were you wearing an orange singlet at Nationals?
Yes, I was.
Okay,
yeah.
there. That was proper. That orange and grey is quite boss. I absolutely love that color. What made you pick that color combination?
Orange has always been like my favorite color. So when I heard there was an orange set coming out, I had to get it, and I think it's like a very standout.
Absolutely, that's it.
So
You want to get it's good. It's a good thing to be noticed out there. It's never a bad thing. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Szethyn? How did you get into the sport of powerlifting?
To be honest, I'm just a 18-year-old with a dream at the moment. I got into powerlifting about the beginning of last year.
Mm-hmm.
I did one of the Barbell Bullies fun comps, and just from there, I knew like I wanted to do this.
Oh, phenomenal! It's so many athletes, dude, that we've spoken to on the podcast have spoken about those Barbell Bully fun competitions. I think the third one is coming up now. How important, in your opinion and experience, I mean, it got you into the sport, so there you go. But how important are fun competitions as an introduction to powerlifting?
I personally think it's a like good start because you don't need to apply all the rules of like a main competition. So I think it's a good way to get people to come and join without like the worry of like the rules and stuff. And the Barbell Bullies like family is just an amazing family. It's amazing to train there. And my coach Henk and Laura are like amazing people. So I really rate that it's a great choice.
Also, and anyone who starts training at Barbell Bullies, you say, "What's your first goal?" He said, "To get close to Majan's numbers." So,
Literally.
oh, awesome! So, from that first competition at Barbell Bullies, how did you end up at Nationals this year? What's the progression like?
Well, when I started, I was like not really into powerlifting specifically. I was just training at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
So I was obviously doing the compound movements, but not in the way that you should train it as a powerlifter. Um, and then I had a coach that was a personal trainer at Virgin Active for a while. And then I switched to Henk and Laura as my coaches. And then from there, yeah, my numbers I think my first comp was 450 kgs, and
Okay,
I'm sitting at 587.5
sure,
now.
phenomenal, and that's in under 2 years.
Yeah, under two
That's
years.
very, very cool. So, when was your first provincials, your first Gautengs?
2024.
Okay. And what was that like for you?
A bit of a stressful day, being my like first comp
Yeah.
where you had to like follow the rules and stuff. But I mean, the sport of powerlifting, everyone's motivating, everyone helped me on the day. I mean, I've never experienced it in any other sport. Usually you get the people in other sports are like they don't want to help you, but I felt like everyone was there to just make the day a better experience.
And
So
to step up and help out. It's such a special, special thing. For me, that's what I love about the sport, and that's why we do this. What was
yeah.
so tell us a little bit about your experience with the community at that first provincials.
Well, when I went there, I like didn't know like I knew you had to weigh in, but I didn't know where and how you had to do it. And in Kosetani, I don't know how to pronounce his
Mm-mm.
name correctly. Excuse me. But he helped me through it all and helped me to get there on the platform. And that's where I met Hank and Laura, and then they also were just amazing to to win on the day. So I mean, yeah, it was fantastic.
That's very, very cool. So you made the decision after the fun comp that you were going to go and try out for provincials. You were going to rock up on your own and give it your best shot.
Yeah, I mean, I told my parents I like the sport and I think I want to do it, and they were a bit like touch and go because they didn't really know what the sport was about.
Right.
Um, but they said, "Yeah, go try it out," and then I mean, I've just taken off from there. So
Oh, phenomenal. You know, it's, listen, I mean, it's a very good place for kids to be spending time, young adults to be spending time, and old people to be spending time. I had some amazing athletes, and not calling them old people, on this morning talking about, like, with Peter Day. I mean, she's 65, she's still PBing, and she's been lifting for 10 years, and I think she got 6 world records, starting
yeah,
at
no,
55.
yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it's a lifelong sport that you can stay in, so that's
Absolutely.
just also fantastic.
So, on a little side note, for a bit of fun, are you going to be getting your folks involved in the sport?
I don't think so. I don't think so. They enjoy watching it, but they think it's quite like they think it's still dangerous.
Mm.
They think like my body's not going to be able to handle it for so long. But yeah, that's just the way it is.
You know the thing, and I think there are a lot of parents who have that sort of mindset, and very understandably. The safest sport in the world up until the introduction of CrossFit was Olympic weightlifting, and there you're putting the weights overhead. So there's maybe just a message for your folks. Powerlifting is incredibly safe, and I remember chatting to a doctor at one of the European comps last year sometime, saying that she thought it was so dangerous, Ethan. Like, she thought it was a crazy sport, massive weights, big risk. And then after just 2 days at the competition, she realized that how safe it is, because everything's controlled, the progression is controlled, you're warming up. And that's the thing, in the warm up if you have a problem with a specific lift, right? If
Yeah,
something's
exactly.
hurting you, you're not jumping into it. It's not like other sports that are contact sports like rugby or even soccer,
Yeah.
you know, and you're not putting, even with weightlifting, you're not putting the weight overhead. So it's really a good sport. So my message to your folks, getting them involved here, dude. See, they're going to be like, oh, stop it. There's no need to cry, parents. It's a great sport to get involved in and have fun with, kids and stuff. I mean, just look at Hermanus de Beer and his daughter, Lisa Marie. You know how they live together, they have a blast together. So great, great sport.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So how did the provincials competition go for you?
For last year or
Yeah,
this year?
for last year.
For last year, I mean, it was good. It was my first comp, so I didn't really have like a set goal. I just wanted to get through the day with the weights that I wanted. Um, my technique wasn't obviously near where it is now, so it went well for that day. But I mean, I've come a long way since then. So
100%. I mean, that's a 580. That's a great jump, right? Uh, did you compete in nationals then in 2024? Because obviously, as a junior, you're a junior then. You just had to do the competition in order to qualify.
yeah, I did go to Poch
Hmm.
last year, yeah, to compete at nationals.
Awesome.
That was a very cool experience, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that. What was that like for you?
It was a bit different. Obviously, like I didn't know everyone there, obviously,
Mm-mm.
because it was from Gauteng still the whole country. But again, everyone was super helpful. I think I did a little bit better,
Mm-hmm.
but there's not much time in between provincials and nationals to like really build on what you've gotten.
Right, 100%. What was it interesting for you to see how hard the coaches work? Like, thinking of Henk and Laura, how they're working as a team, running the numbers, running all of those athletes. Was that a bit of an eye opener for you, seeing the level of competition and the level of work that's taking place in the back?
For sure. I mean, they help everyone pretty much. All the coaches are busy doing their own thing with their people. I mean, they make it as least stressful for you as
Yeah.
possible, which is really important. So I think,
Absolutely. And then hanging out outside the weigh-in area in Potch can be, you know, if you got an early morning session, it can be a little bit cool out there. What was it like weighing in with the other athletes, chatting to the different guys?
I mean, it was a good experience. I met like a few people that I still talk to this day, um, and we go back and forth with our lifts. So, I mean, that was really nice to meet like-minded people there.
It's all, and it's such a healthy environment to be in, right? You're hanging out with really, really good people.
Yeah, no, for
Yeah,
sure.
awesome. So now Gauteng's this year was also really impressive. I think the level of competition is just increasing all the time. It was a great venue that Rodney set up. It was a great comp. What was your? I think was this the first time you wore your orange singlet?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it was the
okay,
first
there we
time
go.
I wore my orange
So
singlet.
it just goes to show because we were there taking photos and doing the live stream, and your singlet stood out. I was like, sure, that's a very cool singlet. So this jacket is made by a Dutch company called A Fish Named Fred. You can see the buttons are orange and stuff. There we go. So there's a lot of orange on that because of the Dutch national color. And I
Yeah.
was like, hey, that's very, very cool. So, what was that like for you? What was the vibe in the comp? Great energy in the back there. The Furmans were making noise with their music as always and bringing a lot of energy. Tell us about this year's provincials.
When I got there, I saw some like new faces from like that have come up from 83s,
Mm.
being Ryan Sutton.
Yeah,
And I knew it was gonna be a tough day. And me and Ryan battled it out till the end. That was a really good battle. So yeah, no, it was a good experience, very enjoyable again. I mean, every comp that I've been to, I've enjoyed.
and had a blast. So now nationals this year, the one bit of feedback that I've gotten from all of the lifters that I've spoke to, even some of the coaches, was that setup at nationals this year was incredible because we got the same scaffolding or that we used at Worlds and at Commonwealth with a massive big banner and that fantastic blue carpet that was used at Commonwealth. It looked like a world championship in Potch. What was that like for you? What was it like stepping out onto that platform?
I thought it was really like stepped up a notch from last year. Um, the warm-up area is amazing. There's more than enough space for
Mm,
everyone. I mean, the benches and everything, racks are perfect. And yeah, the platform was amazing. I mean, coming from Worlds last year in Malta
mm.
to that, I mean, there wasn't much of a difference, which is really good.
Very, very cool. 100%. So, what was Malta like for you? Let's chat about that quickly. Your first international.
It was a very different experience from nationals. You go from being like quite a big dog up here, and then you go there, and then it's very different. But I mean, there I met a lot of people that I've been watching that have gotten me into the sports. So that was a good experience. I mean, I was just happy to be on the platform there.
Mm,
A lot of people trained for years to get to the world stage, so I was just
absolutely.
proud of myself for getting to that point.
And really, and you should be because it's absolutely phenomenal. This is the thing we always tell athletes: whether you win a gold medal and you're the only athlete, or you come 19th out of 19, you got to the world stage, you got to an international, and that's the best thing to stand there. I think the thing that means a lot to most of the athletes is that participation medal. When you're standing there in your
Yeah.
national tracksuit and you're looking to your left and you're looking to your right and you sharing the platform with your heroes, right? And with the most amazing people.
Yeah, literally, it
Yeah.
was a great
Oh,
experience.
phenomenal. Love that. One of the little fun questions, though, some of the comments that have been made to me about Malta is they would love to have the warm up area on the same floor as the lifting area. So you didn't have to take
For
the lift
sure,
or the
for sure.
stairs. So these are sometimes the challenges that are faced with the venue and with the organizers. You're trying to do the best you can for the athletes. So
Yeah.
the location was great, but yep, that was the thing: the lift and the stairs. Because technically that's cardio. So,
Exactly, exactly.
so now, when you look at nationals this year, are you happy with the results? Are you happy with how the comp went and your performance?
I'm quite happy with it. Few technical errors on the platform,
Mm,
from nerves and stuff, but I mean, that's gonna happen at every competition, so you just have to take it in your stride. I was happy. I mean, it's a big difference from last year, from fourth to second. So
yeah.
that is, yeah, that was a positive to take away. There's always positive to take away from every competition. So
I think, and also, and just not to sell yourself short on that, it's from fourth to second, but the competition's gotten a lot better this year, right?
no, I was just saying to my mom the other day, actually, how the sport has grown since I joined it.
Mm.
I mean, when I joined it, it was already quite big. But I mean, looking now, every time I go on my phone to scroll through Instagram, there's a new powerlifter popping up. There's a new person coming into the sport. So
Yep, for sure. It's funny you mentioned Henk and Laura. I mean, I remember the old days from 10, 15 years ago where they still had the ability and the opportunity to compete as well as to coach because we all had small camps, wasn't such a big comp, and now it's absolutely pumping. So you mentioned Instagram, and I'm very happy that you did because that was a question I have for you is how valuable do you think Instagram is to the sport of powerlifting? And how important is it in terms of helping lifters connect and develop and maintain friendships and relationships?
no, I think it's a fundamental part of the sports. I mean, before I went to Worlds, I messaged a guy from the UK and we met up in Malta at World Champs, and I still talk to him to this day. So, I mean, I think it's a very, very important part. But on the same hand, you're always watching people, and everyone posts their best on Instagram. No one posts what they can't do or their fails. So, you also have like, you have to mentally prepare yourself that you're going to see people doing extreme numbers on Instagram.
Absolutely. And that's it. And you know, they are doing extreme numbers. And then you start to think, is that the most? Were they making it look hard? Are they bringing more to the platform? So it does bring a great vibe and energy. And I think it's so cool within the sport where people are showing their best and what they're bringing. So everyone has to then up their game, up their performance. Because I think maybe those days where you're feeling a little bit tired, Szethyn, you're like, oh, I'm just going to take it easy. And then you remember some of the lifting that's happening on Instagram and they're, okay, going to the gym.
For sure. No, that's 100% true.
So for you within sport, the competition now, what are your plans for the rest of 2025? And what are you looking to do 2026? And you mentioned when we started, you have a dream. So those are the three things that I'd like to chat about now.
For the rest of this year, I would like to compete at Asia Pacifics in Japan. I've always wanted to go to Japan, so I mean that's a very cool thing to be able to do. And then obviously I'm in Matric now, so it's a bit hard to go to World Champs because it's in the
Mm,
middle of prelims. So I maybe compete at Africa Champs at the end of the year if that's a possibility.
awesome.
And then next year, I'd like to qualify to go to Worlds because I mean it's at Sun City, so that's obviously going to be a very good
Yeah,
vibe.
it is going to be off the hook. You know, I say always like, you have to remember it's great that you're busy with Matric now, you're wanting to go to these internationals, but you can always do it next year. And I don't mean the competition, I mean Matric. I'm just get myself
I don't
into
know if my
trouble there.
mom would be happy with
No,
that.
no, geez, they're going to want to know where the studio is. I'm watching my back here, getting into trouble. It's like, yeah, yeah, don't worry. How come you're 47 years old and in matric still? "Oh, I can't keep missing, these internationals." So listen,
Uh,
it is a challenge, but I mean, and there's responsibilities that you have to do. But let's chat about that. Do you think your lifting has helped your studying and your academic performance?
in a way, yes, because of the discipline
Mm,
aspect. Um, I mean, going to the gym every day takes a lot to be able to carry on going there, especially when you don't feel like it.
mm,
So I think that relates and goes through to the studies. But then also sometimes I'm like, nah, I'll study just now. I need to go train now, or I want to watch people lift and do
Yeah.
things instead of study. So I mean, it's a two sides to the story again. Yeah.
Okay, 100%. On that point, though, with going to the gym, how valuable is the environment you train in to getting you to the gym even when you don't want to go?
Well, I mean, I used to train at Barbell Bullies,
Mm,
day in, day out. But I realized it's just not possible to be able to train every day there with Matric. So I train at home now
hmm.
at my home gym. But the environment is extremely important. I mean, at Barbell Bullies, everyone's like cheer. If you're going for a PR, everyone stops what they're doing and cheers for you. So and like makes you get it up in a way. So I mean, I think it is important, but if you have the drive, you will be able to train anywhere.
Well, absolutely. Great, great, great point and great message there. So, speaking about juniors and sub juniors next year at Sun City, I think we're getting masters in Cape Town this year, and it's going to be rocking. It's going to be about 950, 970 athletes, about 3,500 people potentially with support staff. Juniors, I think, is going to be substantially more than that, maybe about 1,500 sub juniors and juniors. So Sun
Yeah.
City's going to be off the hook. Have you had an opportunity to attend any of the comps at Sun City?
Yeah, I did go to Commonwealth last year.
Right.
Um, yeah, that was a very cool experience. I think the venue is in a very good place with the training grounds and everything.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Yeah.
I think the environment that Harney created with the two platforms, with the 14 warm-up platforms, the 4 platforms in the gym, it was the most wonderful environment. Great atmosphere, a lot of fun. Only problem is that every time you walked in and out of the arena, you walk past the SBD store, and they had some great specials on. Hellgart had some really great deals, so it was very hard not to go and spend a lot of money there.
No, for sure. I mean, I'm a big SBD fan, so I mean, it was a very hard experience for me.
So, with your lifting, and we spoke about some of the internationals for next year, would competing at other some of the other provincial comps, you said, and so rightly, and let me say this very maturely, that sometimes you'll make mistakes on the platform. That's just the way that it goes. You don't want to beat yourself up about that. Have you ever considered attending other provincial comps?
Not really, to be honest. I enjoy the Gauteng competition. I enjoy the people that are here and everything. So I've never really had the like thought to go
Mm.
to another provincial comp. So
So again, and I don't want to get myself into trouble here with your folks. So we were able to live stream Western Cape champs and KZN champs this year. So Western Cape was last year. They put on an incredible comp. Natal put on an incredible comp. And if, as a young lifter, my advice would be, if you can go, and even just for a fun comp, but you don't have to view it as a qualifier. It's such great platform experience because always, and I think you've seen it in your career, there's always different things happening at different competitions that sort of can break your rhythm and the flow of the comp for you. Whether one comp you're forgetting knee sleeves or maybe socks or something happens and weigh-in doesn't go well or you're dehydrated, there's always benefit for being on the platform. And our provincials are getting to such a high standard. It's something really that I could recommend for you.
yeah, no, I think it is a good experience. KZN looked like a really amazing comp this year. So
Yeah.
I mean last year. So I think I think it is a possibility. I think it is also good to just get platform experience,
Hmm.
but also like doesn't it's not like really helpful to compete so many times a
Yeah.
year, if you understand.
No, I do completely, but and definitely not at maximum level, but just for a little bit of
Yeah.
fun, it can be great experience for Asia, Africa. Sorry, for Africa champs. That's up in I think it's Algeria this year. Also, beautiful venue, beautiful location. Had a look at the hotel there, looking absolutely fabulous. really would also then be a great opportunity and experience. But let's chat about Asia, Pacific, Africa champs in Japan. How many events are you competing in? Because I love the regional comps because they're a combination of 3-lift classic and raw and bench classic and raw. So you can basically lift in 4 competitions.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm competing in the classic 3 lift and then also classic bench press in that competition. So that should be quite a fun experience.
Awesome. Are you going to have an opportunity to do any traveling?
I should be able to. I see the bench press is quite early in the competition, and then I think it's 6 days after is the classic lift.
Mhm.
So should be able to get around and see quite a few things there while I'm
Awesome.
there.
Well, while you're there, we'd love to chat to you if you've got time and you can. It would be great to get
Of
your
course, of
perspective
course.
from being on the ground. So I'm going to make Szethyn our reporter on the ground there. Most importantly, we want to find out about the food. What's the sushi like? What's the food like?
No, I said to my parents, I'm going to come back as a 120 kilo lifter after I go there because that's all I'm going to be doing is eating.
Nothing wrong. That's one of the greatest benefits of the sport. I started off in the 83s and have consistently worked my way towards the 120 pluses. I'm currently at 105. Well, actually, no, what I weighed in this morning was 108. So I'm in the 120s. It's a lot of fun.
No, that's good.
You can move. I was chatting to 2 fantastic lifters, Lisa and Jonathan, this morning, one from Scotland, one from Australia, and talking about how because they're both cancer survivors, and Lisa got Jonathan into lifting as a way of helping improve his health, and it's helped him battle and beat his cancer, which is the most wonderful thing. But how is powerlifting, or has powerlifting changed how you think about your body and weight and appearance?
I think it has in a way. When I started training, obviously I was training for more the bodybuilding side, but I didn't really enjoy it that
Mm,
much. I didn't see the like value of, I didn't want to get on a stage, get to like extreme leanness and stuff. I just wanted to be able to enjoy myself while I'm doing what I want to do. So I think it has changed the way I think, the way the foods I put into my body, that my hydration. Um, because I mean, if I don't eat correctly for a certain day and I go train, I can feel that my lifts are not where they're meant to be. So
right. For sure. I mean, and you think that's a healthy approach for for young people to look at? It's a good sport for guys and girls to take up in terms of how you feel about yourself and what your body can do.
yeah, no, for sure. I think it's a really good sport to get into at a young age. I mean, it can only help you in a way. It's not going to
Mm,
cause harm. So
absolutely. What is getting stronger and getting strong and moving like to those numbers mean to you?
I think it's very important to me. I mean, week in, week out, every time Coach Hank sends me my weekly program, I get excited to go into the gym and train and take on the session. And I mean, the powerlifter Russell Ori, I
Mm,
mean, he's a very big fundamental part in my coming into the sports. And the way he looks at it as well is you need to attack the session to be able to fully grasp it. So if you're going to go there and just give half, then there's no point of going into the gym that day.
yeah, 100%. You've got to be committed, and I think that's another thing. Perhaps that can be carried over to studying and to education. That you have to attack your study session. Otherwise, you're just wasting that time, which you're never going to get back. We don't get our sessions back, whether they're lifting, training, or studying. We don't get our time back. So I love that. Attack your time with everything that you've
Yeah.
got. Phenomenal. You mentioned a dream. Talk to us about the dream.
My dream is to just be the best I can in the sports. Uh, Obviously, I want to win world champs one day, and I'd really, really like to compete at Sheffield one day if that's a
Sure.
possibility. Some people may look at that as like an extremely big goal, but I think if your goal's not big enough, then it's not really a dream.
That's the difference between a dream and a goal, right? A dream is just what the dream is what is at the end of your goals. So if you build, and that's the reality about the sport, if you stay consistent in it, you'll get there. And if you stay committed to it, you'll get there. And putting
Yeah.
it out now that you want to get to Sheffield, you want to compete in Sheffield, that'll get you there. Just on that as well, and with the time that you spent in the sport, how valuable as these fun competitions are for bringing lifters in to powerlifting, how valuable, in your opinion, is the Sheffield competition to existing powerlifters and then also to potential new powerlifters?
I think it's also the same as the fun comps, very fundamental.
Mm,
I mean, with this year, my whole family watched it with me, and it was like a really cool experience. I think it's a very high end of the sport because I mean, it's 12 of the best lifters in female and male
mm,
against each other, and it doesn't take it really into the weight class aspect. I mean, obviously they use the points to determine the winner, but I mean, you have lifters from 59 kgs up to the 120 pluses, and each lift is just at such a high level that you just have to take it in. I mean, it's just crazy what they do there.
yeah. Would you like to be able to go and watch one day?
Yeah, no, that would be crazy.
So,
I think the
yeah.
vibe there must be immaculate.
Absolutely. There's something else that you can look at doing, and I wanted to chat about that with you as well. Are you considering potentially looking at refereeing, looking at coaching? Because I think also for a referee, one of the highlights would be World Games, another would be Sheffield, to go there and because Megan Layton from 1610 last year was TC at Sheffield, which I find quite funny, purely from the point because Meg is quite tiny, and then you've got like Jesus and these guys coming past. So it must have been the most incredible experience.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, right now in my career, I don't think I would be into the like refereeing, but obviously at a later stage, I think it's important for you to give
Mm,
back to the sport what it's given to you. Um, and coaching also again right now, I don't think
mm,
I'm not at a level where I think I should be able to tell other people what they should be doing to get better. So,
right. So have you had friends coming to train with you at home that you've sort of helped them with? They're lifting a little bit, giving you
yeah,
some
I do
advice?
have I do have friends that I train with.
Mm,
I do try and help them, but then like that's why I don't say I'm like ready for coaching because I don't fully understand like how to
mm, mm.
get them to do like Hank knows exactly what to change when I do something wrong, and I'm not fully
Yeah.
able to grasp that concept yet.
But yet, is it hard to train your friends? Do you find you have to beat them maybe with a 10-kilo plate so that they listen to you? I had one of my clients at the gym this morning in between lifting sessions, and his favorite thing with the bench press is he grabs the bar, and as you're about to lift it, he pulls down on the bar. So you know that you try to get this thing up. So it's something maybe that you can try. It,
Okay, I'll give it a
give it
shot.
a go. So, speaking to someone your age and in high school, looking at varsity or tertiary education. So, as a student, how important is the sport of powerlifting, or rather, let me say, how valuable is it? Why should people get involved in the sport?
I think it's like a great sport that you can do year round.
Mhm.
Um, it's very minimal with injuries if you get your technique down to the correct T. So I think it's a good sport to get into, especially if you do other sports like rugby and those strength sports, because I mean, getting your strength up is only going to help you within those sports. So I think it's a good sport to get into. Yeah.
Phenomenal. So I've got a couple of fun questions that I like to ask our guests. Just before I do, any predictions for Japan? Anything you'd like to share with us? Anything that you're thinking you're going to be able to do? What's the goal?
I'd like to bring home the gold medal in the classic bench press and then obviously in the classic three lift. So yeah, that's my goal. And then I'd
Awesome.
also like to get over 600 total, 600
Okay.
plus. So
So
yeah.
we will be holding thumbs for that, and we'll be supporting you and cheering you. Do you have your times yet that you're going to be lifting? Is the schedule out?
The schedule is out, but I haven't fully looked at it yet,
Okay.
but I know it's in the afternoon.
Oh, perfect. Will you DM us that when you have it, and we'll add it to the description of the podcast?
No problem,
Okay,
no problem.
perfect. So now my fun question. So there's 4 questions. They're evolving. First two are fun. Third and fourth can be a little bit more serious, or the fourth can definitely be fun. So let's get into this. What is your favorite thing about powerlifting?
My favorite thing is just the community, how everyone is just like wants to see everyone else do better, um, and just how the bar gets raised every day. So yeah, that's my favorite thing
Sure.
about the
Love
sport.
that. Love that. Phenomenal. And what is the one thing in powerlifting that drives you mad? Doesn't have to be too serious.
Uh, I think at the moment, the knee sleeve drama that's going on, I think that would be a good start. But I don't have really anything that gets me like very angry at competitions or about the sport.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. You know, that's the cool thing, like within life. Whenever there changes, there's opportunities. So while this is going on, it's an opportunity to leverage in your favor and work it. But I do understand the frustration, particularly for athletes that have come into the sport and made those their first purchase for knee sleeves. And in South Africa,
Yeah.
stuff is not cheap because it's got to be shipped out. You don't have a wide variety, like especially with equipped stuff, like with the shirts and stuff. You can't go and be mixing and matching and trying different shirts. It's very limited here. So I do understand that completely.
Yeah, no. I see a lot of lifters recently on the Facebook group have
Mm.
been trying to sell their Insta sleeves. So I'm sure they must be taking those ads off now since that ban has been lifted till
Till
at least next year.
2026. Yeah, exactly. I was going to, so you're going to have some of the guys that are studying finance at varsity that would have been buying them all up to trade them, you know, a little bit of a little bit of knee sleeve arbitrage. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have your knee sleeves back for an extra $200, no problem. So, and you have to pay the postage. So maybe the most serious of the 4 questions, what has powerlifting given you?
For me, it's given me a reason to like get up in the morning and have something to look forward to. I'm not really the type of person that enjoys school
Mm,
and studying and stuff. So um, just like in the middle of the school day, thinking like to get home and I'm going to be able to train. Yeah, it's just like makes me happy to be able to do that daily.
yeah, that's very, very cool because school can be tough. I know that. It's not easy, and to have something to look forward to removes hopelessness, right? And it keeps
Yeah.
us, you know, it brings a wonderful, wonderful quality to life. So, really, really do love that. For you, just before I ask you the fourth question, are you going to be making powerlifting part of your life going forward?
For sure, yeah. That's my main part of my life. I want to structure everything around the sports.
That's phenomenal. So now, are you ready for a bit of fun? So we've added this
Yeah.
one on now. Now I can start rubbing my hands because it's too much fun. Um, you don't have to mention anyone, but if you want to, who do you think we? This is like the call out segment, I should say. Like, who are you calling out to come on? Or was it the ice bucket challenge? You know, you nominate. So who do you nominate to come on the podcast?
I think you should get Ryan Sutton on the podcast. I think it would be good to chat to him.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, we're kind of rivals for this year, so I think it would be good to chat to him. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, while you are there, let me jump into Instagram quickly and message Ryan. What do you say? There we go.
Perfect, perfect.
Gonna send him a voice note quickly. Hey Ryan, Nick from Emet Media here. We're busy chatting to Szethyn, and as part of our segment, Who Do We Call Out, to come on the show, he suggested your name. We'd love to have you on the show. Please let us know. And that's a call out with love for you from Szethyn. There you go, Ryan. Chat soon. How was that?
Perfect,
Oh, yeah,
perfect.
it's too much fun. Excellent, dude. Just before we wrap up, is there anything that you would like to chat about, to mention?
No, not really. Just want to say thank you for having me on the podcast. It's been great chatting to you. I think it's great what you guys are doing, builds the sports and just gets more people involved. So
So we thank you. It's our absolute pleasure. We love doing it, and we do this for the community because, I think from what you found, right, and how valuable it is, what it's added to your life, I know that it's added so much to so many people that everybody deserves to be a power lifter, right?
yeah,
So 100%. Szethyn, thank you so much for joining us. And did I get it right again? Fülöp?
full up, yes.
Yes, I got it. Okay. That's my dyslexic brain. You should have seen when announcing some of the guys at Commonwealth, what I was doing to those poor guys. Anyway, I'd rather let people know that I'm trying my best, and they're far kinder that way. But Szethyn Fülöp, thank you so much for joining us, dude. All the best for Asia, Pacific, Africa. And I think we should start calling it ARPA. That'll make it easier to remember because
Yeah, yeah.
everybody I know goes Africa, Pacific, Asia, or Asia, Africa, Pacific. So, but it's Asia, Pacific, Africa in Japan. Classic 3 lift, classic bench press. We're looking forward to seeing what you do. We would love to be able to chat to you. So I hope we can make that work when you're there. Maybe after you lift or between the two comps. It'll be absolutely, absolutely fantastic. Szethyn, thanks for your time, dude. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me again. Thank you very
Only
much.
a pleasure. I'm going to end the stream and I'll chat to you quickly off air.